Guys, here we go with our maths for today. It's week 21 Thursday in your New Wave Maths. That's week 21 Thursday in the New Wave Maths. Now, we have in question one here, we're asked to write in descending order these numbers here. Now, yesterday we had ascending order, which is going up, and we are being asked today to do descending order, which is going down. So, we need to start with the biggest today and go down to the smallest. Now, also today we've got a percentage, a number, a fraction, and a decimal. And that's like we've got 4 different languages going on here. So we want to turn them all into the same language. So I'm going to change these all into decimals today. So 75% would be 0.75. As a fraction, that would be 3/4. 0 is going to stay as 0.00. 2 over 3, that's 0.66, and those 6's would go on forever, but 2 will do us for today. And the last one, 0.09. So now that you've got them all written down as a decimal with 2 numbers to 2 decimal places, now you can put them in descending order, starting with the biggest and going down to the smallest. Number 2, we have to name this 2D shape. Now it's like a square because we're told that all of the sides are the same length, but we've got 2 obtuse angles here, bigger than 90 degrees, and 2 acute angles here, smaller than 90 degrees. So it's not a square. If you can't remember what it's called, it starts with OR, and you'll find this shape in the back of the New Wave Maths if you go and look for it. Question 3. How many of box B will fit evenly into box A? So, the volume is what we need to calculate here, which is how much space there is in the box. And for the first box, the volume is 7 times 2 times 3, and that's equal to 14 times 3, which is 42. Box B, the volume is 2 times 2 times 1, and that's equal to 4. So how many of box B will fit evenly into box A? So how many full 4s here will fit into 42? And 10 4s would give you 40, and another 4 would bring you over to 44. So it can only be 10 times, because that's how many full boxes would fit evenly into box A. Number 4, round 8.447 to 2 decimal places. So our answer is going to be 8.4, and there's going to be one more number to have 2 decimals. And this is either going to stay a 4 or it's going to change into a 5. And to find out whether it goes up or stays the same, we look at the next number. And remember, 5 to 9 climb the vine, 0 to 4 stay at the floor. So that should help you fill out this number in here. Number 5, so we've a shirt. It was €50, but it's got 10% off. Now 10% is 1/10. So to find and that's how much there is off the price. So to find 1/10, we're going to divide 50 by 10. And when you get that answer, subtract it from 50, and that's going to give you your new sale price here. Number 6, simplify the ratio 3 is to 12. That's the same as something is to 4. Well, if we look what's happening on the right hand side, you divide 12 by 3 to get 4. So if we divide 3 by 3, we're going to end up with 1 in here. So 3 is to 12 is the same as 1 is to 4. On number 7, we're adding up 4/5 and 4/5. So our answer, we're going to have 4/5 plus 4/5, okay, and that's going to tell us how many fifths we have, and you're going to end up with a number that is bigger on the top than it is on the bottom, and we never leave our answer like that. That's an improper fraction. What I want you to try and do then is turn that into a mixed number. So divide the number in the bottom into the one on top, That's your whole number, and then your remainder goes over 5. So it's going to be something and something fifths. Number 8, we're starting by counting from 0, and we're going back first of all minus 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we land on minus 5. And then we have to go another minus 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and so this is minus 6, minus 7. I need you to work out what does it land on down here. Number 9, 4.2 meters is how many centimeters? Well, in 1 meter, that's equal to 100 centimeters. Okay, so this 4 here is going to be 4 of these, which will be 4 of these. So that'll be 400 centimeters. And this 0.2, well, that's 1/5 of a meter, which is this divided by 5. So if you work out those and put them together, you'll get your answer in here for how many centimeters in 4.2 meters. Number 10, we have to put a circle around a prime number. Now, a prime number can only be divided by itself and 1. So straight away we can see here that there's 2 that are not a prime number, because we have 2 even numbers here and they can always be divided by 2. And if you can divide it by 2, then it's not a prime number. Number 11, we have 0.5, 0.7 on top of each other. 7 5s is 35, put down a 5, carry a 3. 7 zeros is 0, and add our 3. No need to multiply by this 0, it won't get us any further. Now we need to count up how many numbers after decimals. We've got 1, 2. So from here we go over 1, 2. That's our decimal there, and we'll put a 0 in front to tidy it up. Number 12, we have 10 to the power of 6. Now that is 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10. It's 10 multiplied by itself 6 times. Number 13, 6 halves. 6 multiplied by a half. Now we can write that, if we put the 6, write it down as a fraction. That's 6 over 1. Multiply that by 1 over 2. We'll get a number on top and we'll get a number on the bottom. And this fraction that you get, you'll also be able to simplify it. And you should get just a whole number for your answer. Number 14, what is the difference between, now when you hear difference, you're thinking subtraction. What's the difference between the areas of the 2 rectangles? So the big rectangle here is 7 across and 4 high, so its area is 7 times 4. It's 28 meters squared. The smaller rectangle, it's 3 across and 2 down, and that's 6 meters squared. So what is the difference between these 2? So we need to subtract one from the other, and that'll give us our answer. Now 7 times 30 is equal to y plus 10. Now 7 times 30 is 210. 7 3s are 21, so 7 30s is 210. So 210 is equal to y plus 10. What is the y? So if you even get stuck at that part, what you can do is 210 take away 10 is equal to y. Now, 16, which is better value for money? Now, we can't compare these at the moment because one is a small bag of sweets and one is a big bag of sweets. We need to see the bag of sweets being the same size before we can compare their price. So if you look at this 50 here, well, 4 50s would give us 200. So I'm going to take the numbers on top here and multiply them by 4. So 4 times 50 is 200 grams. And the price of that would be 4 times €1.15. So that would be €4.60. So that's our deal on the top. On the bottom we've got 200 grams for €1.60. So I think it's pretty easy to see there which of these is the better value for money. Number 17, and adding up some, nothing hard about it now, 6.184 The only way you can go wrong on this is by putting the numbers in the wrong place. So on the bottom, our units go here, our decimal is under the decimal, our tenths under the tenths. 1, 2, and we are doing a plus sum, and our answer, you can put it in here. Now, number 18, tick the total value of, or sorry, tick the unit value of 32 multiplied by 18. Now, we don't have to do the full sum here. If we take 32 and we multiply it by 18, we just have to do it at the start of the sum. 8 2's is 16. Put down a 6, carry our 1. 8 3's is 24 and 1 is 25. And because this is tens here, we'd be putting a magic 0 in here. So without doing any more of the sum, I know in my units place I am going to have a 6. So the unit value of 32 multiplied by 18 is going to be this 6 here. Number 19, 4 multiplied by something is equal to 64 divided by 8. So what is 64 divided by 8? That's the first thing we have to do. And once you've worked out that, ask yourself, what do you multiply by 4 to get that answer? And number 20 here, 2/3 of something equals 8. So 2/3 of what equals 8? So this 8 here is 2/3 of something. Okay, so to find 1/3 of it, we divide this by 2, and to find out the whole thing, we would multiply by the bottom number. So this is the one we haven't done for a while now. This is one where you divide by the top and multiply by the bottom. Okay, 2/3 of something is 8. We're going to divide by the top and multiply by the bottom. So that's it for Thursday, guys. And we'll be back with you soon.